Hi everybody, welcome to our PM yoga session. So today we're going to be focusing on movements that are grounding, that can help to soothe anxiety or to just simply wind you down from your day. So you might start by joining me in a seated position. If it's not comfortable to sit cross-legged, you could choose to sit back onto your heels or maybe sit in a butterfly pose, but I'm going to choose to sit cross-legged today. And then you could relax the backs of the hands on your knees with palms facing up, or if you're feeling really ungrounded, you could choose to rest with palms facing down. Once you've settled in, you might close the eyes. Sit up nice and tall. And as you breathe in, maybe feel the spine lengthen a vertebrae at a time, from the tailbone and up through the crown of the head, until you're sitting up nice and tall. As you breathe out, start to soften any unnecessary tension, gripping, or effort from the muscles. Maybe breathe down through the shoulders, through the back, the ribs, belly, all the way down into the points of contact the body makes with the floor beneath you. With each exhale, you might relax just a little deeper into those contact points. Release just a little more tension. Maybe you can even let thoughts start to melt away until you're able to fully anchor your awareness in your own breath, your own body. Maybe take one more deep breath. And when you're ready, we'll float the eyes open. And just start by resting your right hand down by your side. And with a big inhale, let's just reach our left arm straight up. Maybe look towards the palm as you start to tip by gently bending your right elbow, reaching across into a little side stretch. And then as you breathe out, maybe you turn the chin to look over your right shoulder as you release the left hand. When you're ready, we'll inhale, reach the right arm up, coming into a side stretch. And then as you breathe out again, we'll release. And this time, turn the chin to look left. Inhale, reach. Look up as you start to tip into that gentle side stretch. And then on an exhale, release the hand and look right as you lower the arm. Big breath in, reach up, start to tip. Full breath out as you release, looking to the left as you lower the hand. Let's do one more on each side. So big breath in, float that left arm up, and we'll hold it here now. So as you breathe in, maybe you can lengthen the fingertips a little further overhead. As you breathe out, maybe you can release that shoulder down. As you continue to breathe through this open side of the waist, maybe you can start to spiral the bottom part of the rib cage up towards the sky. Take one more big breath, really reach. And on the exhale, we'll release, turning the chin to the right as we lower the left arm down. When you're ready, let's inhale, reach the right arm straight up and then overhead. Finding that side stretch again and settling into it. Again, we relax the shoulders away from the ears and then maybe reach the fingertips a little further. Stretch that side body just a little more. Maybe you can start to roll that top shoulder open, spiraling the bottom part of the rib cage to the sky. One more breath. And then on an exhale, release the hand and look left. Once that hand is released, we'll just turn the head back through center. And then if you're sitting in a cross-legged position, let's switch the cross of your feet. So if you're sitting in like butterfly, or if you're sitting back onto your heels or some other symmetrical pose, you don't need to worry about switching positions. Or if you do choose to switch positions right now, just make sure that you're choosing another symmetrical pose. For us asymmetrical people, we'll flip where our legs are, so that way we're creating balance between the two sides. Okay. So when you're ready from here, let's just inhale. Start to draw the thumbs back, stretch the belly, stretch the heart. Keep those shoulders relaxed as you take a big breath up through the belly and into the chest. On the exhale, we'll release the hands out and down. Inhale, reach the arms forward, draw the thumbs back, and exhale out and down again. Inhale, reach forward and up, looking up. Exhale out and down as you look down. Take a breath here. And on an inhale, let's reach the arms out to the sides and up. Exhale, release forward as you look down. Inhale, reach out and up as you look up. Exhale, release forward and down as you drop the chin. One more. Big breath in. Full breath out. Let the hands rest back onto your knees or in your lap. Take a moment to close the eyes again. Notice where in the body you're breathing. See if you can just be aware of that without adjusting it in any way. And then maybe you can start to welcome the breath into the spaces of the body where it isn't, or where there could be more of it. So if you feel like you're breathing mostly into the chest, maybe you can breathe a little more deeply into the belly. If you feel like you're mostly breathing into the front side of the body, maybe you can welcome the breath a little further into the back. Just take one more deep breath here. Filling that breath into all of the spaces inside of you. From here, let's transition to hands and knees. So when you get into tabletop pose, we'll roll the mat back towards us. So when you're ready, we'll come into tabletop. So just finding our way to hands and knees. When you get here, if it's not comfortable to put your weight directly down onto your wrists, you can always take your yoga mat and roll it towards you. And then take the heel of your hand and place it onto the rolled up part of the yoga mat. And then from here, you can place your knuckles on the floor. And this just helps to create length and space through the wrists. So you can always choose this option. But for today, I'm going to just choose to keep my hands flat on the ground. And then on an inhale, we'll just come into some cat-cow. So let's roll the shoulders back, lift the tailbone and the heart. On the exhale, we'll round the spine. Really pull that navel in towards the spine as you look towards the thighs. Inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the tailbone and the heart. Exhale, round and look down. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the heart. Exhale, round and look down again. Last one. Big breath in. Full breath out. Then when you're ready, we'll inhale, return to a neutral spine. So we have a nice flat back. And then on an exhale, let's just release our hips back towards our heels and find child's pose. On an inhale, we'll float back up to tabletop. And on the exhale, we'll sink back into child again. Big breath in as you float up. Full breath out as you release back. keep doing this. Breathe and move at your own pace. So you might move a little faster or a little slower than me. That's okay. But as you're breathing and moving from point to point, really lead through the heart when you find tabletop. On the exhale, see if you can release the hips all the way to the heels and maybe even rest your forehead on the floor. Just a couple more rounds. Big breaths in as you come up. Full breaths out as you sink back. The next time you find child's pose, let's stay there. So again, hips come towards the heels, chest rests on the thighs, forehead rests on the yoga mat. Take a deep breath in through the back and up to the shoulders. And as you breathe out, relax any tension in the arms or in the torso, the hips. And just see if you can start to melt. Release the effort of your body over into the floor beneath you. Just center the mind on the flow of the breath. On an inhale, let's float back up to tabletop. And then we'll curl the toes under, press the hips up to the sky and towards the back of the yoga mat to find downward facing dog. From here, we'll inhale, return to a neutral spine. Just let the knees kiss the mat as they come down. Then exhale, find child's pose again. Inhale, float up to tabletop. Exhale, press the tailbone to the sky and the hips to the back of the room for downward facing dog again. Inhale to fours. Exhale to child. Inhale to fours. And exhale back to downward facing dog. Let's do that a couple more times. Breathe and move at your own pace. We exhale to child. Inhale to fours. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale fours. Exhale child. Inhale fours. And exhale downward facing dog again. This time, let's hold this downward dog. So you might want to give it a little bit of movement. Maybe you pedal the feet from side to side. Maybe you come into a three-legged dog by extending one leg to the ceiling and then bending the knee and dropping the heel back behind you. Might take a breath through that leg and then gently start to release the foot. And then maybe do the other side. Press the heel up to the sky. Bend the knee and start to drop that heel across. Take a big breath. And then release back to downward dog. When you're ready, we'll inhale to fours. And exhale back to child's pose. When you get there again, just scan the body. Notice if there's any places where there's gripping, tension, or effort. And see if you can use the exhale to soften the effort in those spaces of the body. Take one more deep breath. On an inhale, we'll float back up to tabletop. And exhale back to downward facing dog again. This time, see if you can settle in and be still. Feel the hands anchored down onto the mat. Feel the feet on the floor beneath you. Maybe you can really press the tailbone to the sky and the hips towards the back of the room and find that still, steady center. Maybe focus on the breath. Breathing into the belly, the back. Maybe you can inhale up through the palms of the hands and into the heart space. Exhale down from the belly and anchor through the soles of the feet. One more breath. When you're ready, on an inhale, we'll return to tabletop. And exhale to release and find child's pose. Take some deep breaths, and again, just notice, what does it feel like to be you right now? See if you can settle into that awareness. Relax into that space where you could just watch and observe what's present to you. Maybe you can dissolve all thoughts of the mind into the way the breath flows through the body. Watch the breath as it flows in and out. When you're ready, let's just walk the hands back onto the heels. Find a seat. From here, again, you might just close the eyes. Notice where in the body you're breathing. Maybe welcome the breath into the spaces where you're not. When you're ready, we'll just kick the feet out in front of us. We'll bring the soles of the feet together, let the knees come out to the sides. And if you're feeling extra stiff today, you can always grab a blanket or a pillow. And you could sit up onto it. So if you choose to sit onto a prop, just make sure that it's the tailbone that's on it, maybe a little more than the tailbone. But you want the front part of the pelvis to hang off slightly. That way, when you do come into this butterfly, you get forward rotation in your pelvis. If you're not sure what I mean when I say that, check out the spinal extension video on my YouTube channel. I go through a whole tutorial about how we forward fold and create extension and get this forward rotation in the pelvis. So from this butterfly, let's just sit up nice and tall to start. Feel the spine, the curves of the spine. And as you breathe out, maybe relax the shoulders down. On the next breath in, really elongate through the belly. And as you breathe out, you can start to walk the hands forward to fold. On the inhale, we'll gently come up. And on the exhale, we'll just fold forward again. And you don't have to go all the way. You don't have to force yourself in. Just go to where you feel a little sensation and then stop. Breathe in, float up. breathe out and melt again. Again, just finding that gentle edge and resting there. Big inhale, come back up. And exhale to melt forward into your butterfly fold. When you get there, again, just scan the body. Notice if there's places where you're feeling tension, effort, and see if you can relax a little further with each exhale. On the inhale, imagine that you're nourishing the body. And as you breathe out, maybe you can relax a little more. Let go of that gripping or tension where it doesn't need to be. We'll breathe here for just another moment. On an inhale, we'll slowly come up. And then we'll just extend our left leg out in front of us. We'll bring the sole of the right foot to the left inner thigh. And if you have a scarf or a strap or a belt nearby, you could use that now. Wrap it around the ball of your foot. When we wrap the scarf around the ball of the foot, it helps us to keep that foot flexed. If we relax the foot forward, then we shorten the hamstrings and we kind of cheat out of some of the stretch that's available there. So if you don't want to cheat out of it, using something around the ball of the foot to make sure it stays flexed can be really useful. So when you're ready, we'll sit up nice and tall, big breath in. And as you breathe out, you can walk the hands forward on the strap or the scarf. Inhale to come back up. And exhale to melt forward and fold again. One more. Big breath in. Float the heart up. Full breath out as you melt into your fold. You might connect with the foot here. And again, we're not trying to cram ourselves as deeply as we can get into a pose. Just find that edge where you notice a little more sensation than maybe what you're used to. And just breathe there. As you breathe in, you might imagine that you're breathing up through the sole of the foot to the hip. As you breathe out, maybe you're breathing down the leg and back through the sole of the foot. Take one more breath here. On an inhale, we'll float the heart back up. Maybe pause for a moment. Take a deep breath through the leg. And when that's complete, we'll switch sides. So we'll just extend the right leg. Maybe pause there for a moment. Feel the left and the right leg together. And then when you feel ready, we'll bend our left knee, bring the sole of the left foot in towards the right thigh. Again, you might choose to use a strap or a scarf. Wrap it around the ball of the foot. Sit up nice and tall on the inhale. And as you breathe out, you can start to walk the hands forward or just simply slide them up the leg. Start to fold. On an inhale, we'll float back up. And on the exhale, we'll melt forward and fold again. Last one. Big breath in. Float up. Full breath out as you walk the hands forward. Maybe connecting with the foot, but if not, it's okay. If you don't have a scarf or a strap, you could just grab onto the ankle or the shin. And just take some deep breaths. Again, finding that soft edge, breathing into that space. Maybe you inhale up through the sole of the foot to the hip. Exhale down from the hip, through the leg, and back out the sole of the foot. Using the inhale to invigorate, and the exhale to release. Take one more deep breath. On an inhale, we'll just gently float back up. Maybe extend that left leg out. Rest here. Feeling the left and the right leg together. Maybe breathing through them. And when you're ready, you can take the scarf or the strap around the balls of your feet. Or again, if you don't have a prop, you can just slide the hands up towards the feet and then back. We'll take a big inhale, come up. Full breath out as you melt forward and fold. Inhale to come up. And exhale to fold again. Last one. Big breath in. Full breath out. Again, just find that soft edge. We're not coming as deep into this pose as we can possibly get. We're just settling into that space where we start to feel a little something. And then breathing into it. Gentle and easy. As you breathe in, maybe you can find a little more length and space in the spine. And as you breathe out, maybe you melt the belly button towards the thighs just a little more. Using the inhale to invigorate. And the exhale to melt tension from the muscles. Take one more deep breath. On an inhale, we'll float back up to a seat. Maybe pause there. And then perhaps you'd like to release that right hand behind you. Come into a gentle twist for a moment. On the inhale, we'll unwind. And on the exhale, release the left arm behind you. And just come into a gentle twist for the other side. Breathe there. On the inhale, we'll unwind. Exhale. And just release tension from the muscles again. Notice where you're holding effort. See if you can use the exhale to release it. Take one more breath. And when you're ready, we'll make our way onto our backs. So if you're using a strap or a scarf, you can just move it off to the side. If you had a prop beneath your hips, you can just slide off of it and maybe keep it nearby for when we come into Shavasana. But to start, let's just come into a bridge pose for a moment. So come onto your back, have the ankles stacked beneath the knees, about hip distance apart. Maybe relax the palms down at your sides. And then when you're ready, on an inhale, let's just lift the hips straight up to the sky, really lifting up through the midline on that breath in. As you breathe out, we'll just release the hips down again. Let's do this a couple more times. Breathe and move at your own pace. So we inhale to lift the hips. Exhale to release. Keep going. Breathe and move at your own pace. Big breath in as you float up. Full breath out as you release down. As you move from point to point, be mindful of the feet. We want to make sure there's even weight distribution through the heels and the balls of the feet. And the next time you come up, you might decide to stay there. Take a couple deep breaths into the belly and up through the chest. And maybe you can exhale from the chest and back down through the belly. On an exhale, we'll gently release the hips. Maybe you'd like to hug your knees in towards your chest. You could keep the back relaxing onto the floor, or if it sounds good for your body, you might roll the back upward towards the knees and really squeeze them tight. And then when you're ready, we'll stretch the legs out onto the mat. Relax the backs of the hands out at the sides at about a 45-degree angle. Palms can face up. Allow the pinky toe edges of the feet to relax outward to the edges of your mat. If you have a blanket or a pillow nearby, you might decide to put it under your head. Give you a little support here. Or if you're having any kind of low back pain, you can always take this rolled up blanket and put it underneath the thighs. So be mindful that it's the thighs. I'm actually sitting up to do this, which you don't have to, but I want to illustrate where this is going. So I'm going to take this blanket, put it right underneath the thighs, as close to my pelvis as I can get them. Then, when I relax back and stretch the legs out, it takes the pressure out of my low back. Now, actually, I could even push this a little closer to my pelvis, so don't be afraid to experiment. Find out what feels the most comfortable for you. As you're ready, you can start to settle in for your Shavasana. Getting comfortable lying on the floor. Relax the fingertips, the palms. Relax the forearms, biceps, shoulders, the muscles of the face, and if the eyes aren't already closed, allow the eyelids to relax. Relax the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Relax the neck and shoulders. Upper back, mid back, Relax the lower back, glutes, belly, ribs and chest. Feel them all relax. Feel the right leg, the left leg. Ask them to relax. Feel the soles of the feet and the toes. Feel the effort of them start to soften. Become aware of all the points of contact the body makes with the floor beneath you. And as you breathe out, imagine that you could relax the entire body through those points of contact and into the floor, allowing each muscle to be effortless. It's as if you could melt tension or effort away with each breath out. If you notice the mind wandering, return it to the body, the breath within the body. And with each breath out, release tension and effort from the muscles. Just a little more. Relaxing the mind into the body. Relaxing the body into the floor. Settling into that effortless space where there's nothing but body and breath. Start to feel the inhale and the way it fills into the limbs, down to the toes and out to the fingers. Rejuvenating the body and the body systems as you breathe in. Bringing in healing, calm, deep into the body. When you're ready, you can start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Gently find your way to a comfortable seat. When you found that seat, you can close the eyes again. And just find something to rest your gaze on. And again, just become aware of the points of contact the body makes with the floor beneath you. Feel yourself settling into those contact points. As you breathe in, feel the spine lengthening upward from the tailbone and through the crown of the head. Feel the roof of the mouth floating over the top of the heart. As you breathe out, relax the body from the crown through the torso and into the points of contact it makes with the floor beneath you. Settle into that space of effortlessness again. From this effortless space, see if you can find stillness. Settle into that place where there's nothing to do, no one to be. Rest in stillness that's so comfortable and so effortless that there's simply no reason to move at all. Not to swallow or adjust the clothes or the hair. Just pure, effortless stillness. Thank you for taking the time to practice this evening. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you'd like. Or if you're feeling complete, you can start to take some deeper, fuller breaths. And start to welcome yourself back. May this practice serve you well, in peace, calm, grounding. Namaste.